This is the last film in the series. How did you decide what scene to film last, and what was it like saying cut for that final time?
That's a good question. I don't think, wow, it's interesting that I can barely remember what we shot last, because the whole movie had a certain emotion to it because we knew this was the last time. I certainly remember the day that Robin and Ben finished. That was a very emotional day on set because the three of us took a moment and had real gratitude for this thing that we've built.
And obviously, just to get out of the way, really, Robin Williams, I'm sure you've been asked many questions about him, but do you have any specific memories of his time working on this film?
The truth is, I have a lot of memories of Robin. One of the ones that sticks with me is we were filming at the British Museum and we had the museum to ourselves at 3 a.m. And he tapped me on the arm and he goes, "Hey boss, look what we get to do. Look what we get to do." And there was such a great, inspiring wonder and appreciation in him that I'll never forget it.
And one of the things I also want to talk about was Dan Stevens, because I think he's absolutely perfect casting for this. Had you seen The Guest already before you cast him?
I had never even seen Downton Abbey. So literally, Dan was just a name on a list. I had a lot of much more famous actors want to play Lancelot. And I brought in Dan to audition, and he was so good that I then brought him back again. I had him audition with Ben Stiller, and he was just kind of perfect. And he just had the right tone. He was funny. He obviously looked great. He was also a terrific actor, so you really felt for Lancelot. So really, that combination won him the part, and I think he's a revelation in this movie.
Absolutely. He's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks.
Ben Stiller, in the opening act of this film, has to direct like a big choreographed ceremony, and it starts off well, but it starts to go a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
Is there any time working on this set of films where you've had it all planned out and stuff has gone a bit wrong and you've had to adapt, and how did you adapt?
That's a really good question. I've never had a complex pre-planned sequence go awry, but what happens almost every day on these movies is I plan these huge sequences rigorously, but I always know that it has to stay flexible because this franchise is a comedy franchise, and comedy is never static. Comedy requires fresh ideas. So whenever we planned a sequence for months and months and months, I say to my crew, guys, we have a plan, be ready to execute, but be ready to be flexible. It might change. And I would say 90% of the time it changes. And it's not a disaster because I expect it. I always stay ready to adapt because I want new spontaneous ideas.
I'm not going to say who they were, but the cameos in this film, absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I'm amazed that no one has said who they are.
I was going to ask, how hard was that to keep that a secret?
I actually still can't believe it's been kept a secret, but audiences should know that this movie definitely is one of the biggest and most surprising cameos of any movie in the last many, many, many years.
And final question, I wanted to ask about Real Steel 2, because I'm a big fan of the
brother,
first one.
I know.
Give me an update, man.
It's killing me. I get asked more questions about Real Steel 2 every day on Twitter. Every day. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Because you know what? It's been a few years. We've written a few versions of the script. It's been a struggle to find a sequel story that feels fresh. Especially in a world where you have Transformers, you now have Chappie, you have a lot of robot movies. If we're gonna do Real Steel 2, it needs a storyline that feels new, because otherwise there's so much love for Real Steel 1. I do not want to disappoint the people who love it like I love it and you love it. So I'd say it's a maybe. We've been working on it. I think time is probably running out. But it's because I respect our first movie too much to just do a commercial sequel that's less good. So I'll only make it if I find a script that feels, not find a script, get to a script that feels like it deserves it.
Holding out hope for it, man.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for your time today.
Thank you,
really
man.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice chatting with you.